What are your thoughts on healing trauma related to seeing graphic content in the past? Gore when I was 15 years old. I had a little phase as well. I think many of us did, right? Type one in the chat if you had a phase of watching like gore on the internet, watching like videos of people dying or fights or some shit like that. Because I had a little, little bit of a phase doing that. It's pretty fucked up, isn't it? It's been a very long time since I've seen anything like that these days, which is definitely good. Yeah, yeah. There's quite a lot of us here. I remember after I watched some like particularly fucking like fucked up clips, there was definitely like a few days or something that I remembered them. So and I think that's pretty normal. But if you're talking about like okay trauma, it's been months, it's been years, and you still kind of remember it, and then that's definitely something you want to be improving on. How would you heal from that? Healing from trauma always just comes down to just processing the emotions that are stuck inside of you. Like trauma is not some painful event like most people think it is. Trauma is emotions that are stuck inside of you that were not processed, that were not shown to the world, that need to be shown to the world. So that's probably what I would advise you based on that definition. I'd tell you there's probably like emotions you've been sort of pushing back. Whenever you think about this gore, you kind of push it away when really your brain is bringing it up because it wants to process it. Never fight with your brain. Like when your brain brings something up, especially something like this, and it brings it up all the time, you shouldn't fight it and think like, oh no, don't think about that. Your brain's literally saying like, hey, can we focus on this? I really need to like process and think about it. So lock your door, sit sort of calmly and think about it and just express, maybe you feel disgusted, maybe you feel unsafe, and just sit there. No one has to know you're doing this. And just feel the emotion, the pain, the anxiety, the fear. Just feel it all. That's what you're hiding away from because you think you shouldn't feel anything about it and you keep pushing it away. That's not going to help. You have to just honor the emotions. Advice for trauma from an abusive and controlling relationship. Yeah, exact same thing, bro. You literally just have to process the emotions that were stuck inside of you that you never got to like convey to people. And now that it seems like you're out of this relationship, you can do that. Trauma is so simple, honestly. I think all the therapists and whatever, they all they overcomplicate it by like 100x because they're trying to make more money from you. Trauma and improving your mental health is quite literally like 100 times faster than everyone actually says it is. Like you don't need therapy for years. Usually it just takes a few weeks. You just need to know what to do. You just need to understand what trauma is. I've read like 10 books on trauma and all these assholes will like just spend fucking ages not even like telling you what it is and explaining it well and just making it all wishy-washy and all this bullshit. Like trauma is just emotions that are stuck inside of you that you didn't convey that you should have, and they'll stay inside of you until you process them, until you show them out to the world. So you just need to show those emotions that were supposed to be shown to the world, years ago whenever you had the painful moments. You just need to show them. And so today, maybe you just think about the thing that makes you sad, like recollect the memory in your mind, write it out like a story, maybe write it like a letter to someone, whatever. And just feel the emotion. If you cry, it's a great thing. Yeah. Maybe the therapist knows better than you. No. My mental health advice is more effective than therapy and antidepressants. It's not even close. In fact, a set of push-ups is actually more effective than antidepressants. It's a fucking absolute joke. The sort of mental health therapy kind of culture of just how ineffective it is. Like antidepressants that have got such a shit effective rate. It's literally so absurd because it's very Americanized, right? It's like very commercial. It's not made to help you. It's made to extract as much money from you as possible, just like a lot of American healthcare is. It's absolutely inhumane. Like a set of push-ups is more effective than fucking antidepressants for helping you with depressive symptoms. It's fucking insane. My advice for 2 weeks is better than 2 years of therapy. It's stupid. It pisses me off how bad therapists and mental health counselors have fucked over their own clients because of how shitty, outdated systems they work from. Yeah. This is big facts, man. I was so traumatized. Single mom at 16, stepdad beat me growing up. No amount of therapy helped me. My life only turns around when I went to the gym and discovered this channel. Yeah. I've heard this hundreds, even thousands of times of just how effective this advice has been that I've given you. And the advice I give you is like, it's just self improvement. It's just discipline. I can't believe that fucking therapists don't even fucking say that shit. They don't even tell you this. You've got to see what Prajwal said here. Aren't the therapists aware of these? Why do they keep on prescribing antidepressants? Anything in this kind of field, like therapy, counseling, medicine, it's extremely outdated, but worst of all, it's extremely slow. So if there is some like a new sort of meta, they won't catch on for about 20 years because it disrupts the way that they've all learned. So remember, these people don't learn from the internet, from the newest studies, from what's effective. They learn from textbooks where someone has literally paid to have like his company promoted inside of it. They are quite literally taking bribes. The big pharma, the DSM, all these like big fucking pharmaceuticals and counselor, all these things, bro. It's like it is so much more corrupt than you think it is. Read a couple of books on this. Read like the Big White Lie. It's a book on sugar. Read a bunch of books on the carnivore diets, and you'll realize just how corrupt a lot of like the official sort of pharmaceutical medicine industry is. It's literally it's like a company. It's quite literally an industry that is made for profits, and they maximize profit not by curing you, but by stretching out your symptoms. They took profits. They took bribes. Like it is absolutely insane. They literally took bribes from fucking Kellogg's to tell you that sugar is fine for you. It's when you go down this rabbit hole, you're going to be thinking like, what the fuck is this? You'll have as much hate for the sort of pharmaceutical industry, medicine, doctors as I do. And this doesn't mean that every doctor is bad. I've had awesome doctors in the past. I've had like an awesome surgeon who's helped me with, like some surgery that I had and whatever. But the industry is fucked up. Other than reflection on trauma, how can one ensure post-traumatic growth instead of post-traumatic stress? I read something that was so interesting that I've remembered it forever, and I'm going to be, hopefully I will. It's hard to predict, but hopefully I will be ready when the next sort of like traumatic event happens. For people who are in a traumatic event, this is big, boys. Remember this, because you're going to really want to remember this. When something crazy happens, imagine if you find yourself in like a terrorist attack or something, school shooting, something crazy, right? There'll be people who get post-traumatic growth and people who get post-traumatic stress. Does anyone know what one of the biggest factors is which decides which one you'll get? What is one of the biggest factors which decides whether you will grow from trauma or you will actually deteriorate from it? Because it's so interesting. I think maybe no one will get this unless if you've read the same book as me. Gratitude, using dark energy, sense of self, PP size, no. Testosterone level, nope. It's going to be something so random. I don't think a single person's going to get this, but it's so interesting. When I tell you, you'll understand why. I'll give you guys like 10 more seconds. I don't think anyone's quite yet got it. If you suppress your feelings, the suppressing of emotions is definitely going to be a bad thing, and that's one of the things. But there's something which I found was so interesting. Shaking. So there's processing. If you don't process it well, that's one of the things. If you don't process the stress, the emotions, then that can lead to trauma. But the interesting one, get this, I read this once and I thought this was so interesting. After a traumatic event, the people who helped out we're far more likely to have post-traumatic growth rather than post-traumatic stress. So imagine if there's a school shooting, or imagine if there's a terrorist attack or whatever. You know how there's a few people who, for example, they'll stand and they'll lead everyone out of the building, and they'll go over to the police and say, okay, that's over there, whatever, and they'll stay with someone who seems vulnerable, and like the person who's being helpful and supportive and a bit of a leader, they are way more likely to have the growth rather than the deterioration, which makes sense when you really think about it. Of course, it makes sense, right? So just to make that practical, keep yourself safe. But if you ever find yourself in like some crazy situation, just try and remember this and think, when you are safe, that's when it'd be really valuable for you to be like a helpful person in this situation. Go and focus on other people. So don't put yourself in crazy danger, whatever. But imagine there's been like an explosion, right? And imagine the danger's already over, but everyone's outside of the building, everyone's crying, whatever. You can just get in your car and leave, or you can walk around to people and help them in whatever way that you can. You can go up to them and literally say, like, oh, hey, like, how are you doing? Is there anything I can help? You go to the store nearby, buy bottles of water, give them out to people, be as helpful as you possibly can. That will lead to more growth. Along with processing the emotions, feeling the emotions, not pushing them away. If you need to cry or shout or vent that day or the day after, do it. Don't keep it like stuck inside of you. But if you try to like, if you're the one who helped, you will get way less of the sort of trauma rather than being in the sort of like freeze mode. And you'll also just be a fucking hero with a fucking great story.